Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm always breaking down the hot sports topics of the day. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 7-round NFL mock draft with the top of round 3, picks 1 through 10 of the third round. I've already completed rounds 1 and 2, so be sure to check those out. And be sure to subscribe to my channel here, guys. And as I upload videos, my daily sports talk videos, and my 7-round mock draft videos, they'll be uploaded directly to your feed here on YouTube. Let's get right to it with pick number 1 of the third round, which belongs to the Chiefs. This is their second pick of this draft after they're going to trade the second-round pick they have away to the 49ers in the Alex Smith deal. So with this pick, I think they have a need at inside linebacker opposite Derrick Johnson. And I think to address that need, they take Kiko Alonso, the inside linebacker from Oregon. I think he's the best inside linebacker left at this point. I think he matches the scheme that they want to run in Kansas City pretty well. So I think it's a fit. Kiko Alonso to the Chiefs with the first pick of the third round. The second pick of the third round belongs to the Jaguars. The Jaguars roster definitely needs replenishing. They can use some help at offensive tackle, which is why Terron Armstead, the offensive tackle from Arkansas Pine Bluff, I think makes sense here. You remember, he had a great combine. After the combine, I'm sure all the scouts went home, looked at tape on this guy. And the fact that he still has a second or third round grade by most scouts and most draft analysts leads me to believe that he'll go somewhere in the second or third round. And I think he makes sense for the Jaguars at the top of round 3 here. Terron Armstead from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Third pick overall in this round belongs to the Detroit Lions. The Lions are in need of a weapon opposite Calvin Johnson. Obviously, Titus Young didn't work out. He kind of went off the reservation and definitely has some problems he has to sort through. So rightfully so, they released him. Ryan Broyles is going to be coming back from an ACL injury. So I think Quinton Patton, the wide receiver from Louisiana Tech, makes sense here. They can always shift Broyles in the slot if they need to if he comes back healthy. Quinton Patton, Louisiana Tech. Fourth pick in the third round belongs to the Raiders. The Raiders need cornerbacks. They probably need 2 cornerbacks. Whether they get them from the draft, free agency, or both remains to be seen. Darius Slay is still on the board here. A fit for the Raiders here. He's athletic. Very athletic, as a matter of fact. He played opposite Jonathan Banks at Mississippi State, played in the SEC, more than held his own. Darius Slay to the Raiders here at pick number 4. Pick 5 in the third round belongs to the Eagles. The way I feel about it is Chip Kelly is going to address his quarterback situation at some point in this draft. I already had Ryan Nassib getting drafted, Geno Smith, and Matt Barkley. I think here in the third round is where you get a little bit of a run on quarterbacks because I think there's tremendous value here, which is why Chip Kelly jumps on E.J. Manuel, the quarterback from Florida State, here at the top of the third round. Manuel makes the most sense to run Chip Kelly's offense. He has the physical tools, meaning arm strength and speed, and he has the football smarts and the maturity to run the system as well. If you hear people remark about Manuel, they first remark about how he carries himself, which is important in a market like Philly, and the fact that he's a very football smart player, which makes him the logical pick here for the Eagles at the top of round 3. The 6th pick in the third round belongs to the Browns. I know some people may not see this coming, but I like for them to go for a quarterback here in the third round. Why? Because Rob Chudzinski and the other members of the Cleveland Brown front office are not the regime that brought Brandon Weeden and Colt McCoy to Cleveland. I think that they addressed this need early in the draft to try to get someone that Chud can work with, and I think that guy is Mike Glennon, the quarterback from NC State. I'm not huge on Mike Glennon after watching him play some in college, but remember, he's a guy that stepped in for Russell Wilson, that NC State basically chose him over Russell Wilson coming back, for a 5th season. So, I look at Mike Glennon as a guy that's 6'7", has all the physical skills, and, if Chudzinski can develop those, maybe he'll be a gem here in round 3 and prove me wrong. This is one of those picks where I think they'll take Glennon. I don't think they should take Glennon. One of those kind of things. So, Mike Glennon to the Browns here at pick number 6 overall. The Cardinals hold the next pick. I had the Cardinals addressing The offensive line in the first round, I have them going right back to the offensive line here in the third round and taking Menelik Watson, the offensive tackle from Florida State. Look, the Cardinals were dreadful on that offensive line. I think Pro Football Focus, if you check out that website, I think consistently they had the Cardinals as the worst offensive line in football. I don't think you can get enough offensive linemen when you're in a situation like the Cardinals, and replenishing with youth wouldn't hurt. Menelik Watson's a guy probably fit right away at right tackle, but will definitely be an insert and play guy right from day one here for the Cardinals in round 3. Pick number 8 in this round belongs to the Titans. The Titans, again, are a team that needs help on the interior of the line. Justin Pugh, the offensive guard from Syracuse, makes sense here because Pugh is a guy, he can play offensive guard. He can also play offensive tackle. And I think if he gets in there, works with Mike Munchak, who is obviously a legendary offensive lineman, I think Munchak will appreciate his versatility, and it'll be something that he can use to the Titans' advantage. They exercise the option on Chris Johnson. He'll be back in the fold here next season for the Titans. And being that that's the case, they need to make a commitment to now building that offensive line. And I think Justin Pugh is the perfect guy to do it here at the top of the third round for the Titans. Pick number 9 overall in the third round belongs to the Buffalo Bills. The Bills need a receiver opposite Stevie Johnson. Stevie Johnson is a good receiver. Stevie Johnson, like every other receiver, though, when 2 guys are rolling over to him almost every possession, it's going to greatly impact his productivity. You get a guy like Terrance Williams from Baylor to go opposite Stevie Johnson, and I think you give Ryan Fitzpatrick a much-needed added option to throw to. They haven't been able to develop a guy opposite Stevie Johnson, so that's why Terrance Williams from Baylor makes sense here. You remember Terrance Williams? He was one of RG3's favorite targets when he was at Baylor, and backed that up with another great season for the Baylor Bears with Nick Florence at quarterback this season. Pick number 10 of the third round belongs to the New York Jets. The Jets have a need at both safety positions coming into this draft. Jeremiah Bell, even if they decide to re-sign him, is 35 years old. LaRon Landry, the Jets took a risk on him last year. He ended up having a Pro Bowl season. I look at him being too expensive for the Jets to bring back. You have a guy like Baccari Rambo here, who picked number 10 in the third round. That makes sense for the Jets. Rambo had some problems at Georgia, some discipline problems. I think Rex Ryan, and the Jets, they're no stranger to dealing with, attitude problems. So he'll probably fit right in with the Jets. But all kidding aside, from a scheme perspective, from what Rex Ryan wants out of his safeties, I think Baccari Rambo makes sense at pick number 10 for the Jets. That's my rundown on picks 1 through 10 of the third round. Next video I'll have out here in a couple hours will be for picks 11 through 20 of the third round. Be sure to check that out. Be sure to check out the rest of my mock draft. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here, guys. And let me know what you think of picks 1 through 10 of the third round. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. And as always, guys, thank you for listening and have a great night.